So we're going to move on to the city traffic engineer report.
Yes, thank you, Chair Gokin. This is John Kim, City Traffic Engineer. I have included the City Traffic Engineer report in your packet. There have been some last-minute changes, so I'd like to go over those. As just discussed, I forgot to add that on September 15th, the Traffic and Mobility Commission work plan will be an item, so you may want to add that. Obviously, all of you know. That first passed city council item that I listed there for August 25th, which is for the 2021 pavement overlay, that has been pushed to September 15th. So the overlay project will not be going in August, but will be going to city council on September 15th. The growth management plan has been pushed from September 22nd to October 20th. And so if you want to make those changes to the city traffic engineer, I'll try to do a better job. I tried to do it ahead of time, but when you do that, sometimes you miss some of the last minute changes. But other than that, I have no other items to report. I'll ask Nathan if he has anything he'd like to add.
No, nothing to add. Thank you, John.
Okay, Commissioner Linke.
I'm curious what happened to the overlay project.
I don't know the specifics. I've just been told that it got pushed to September 15th.
Okay.
If I may, Chair, I can provide some information on that item. We found a discrepancy in our staff report with a segment along El Camino Real between Fairday and College Boulevard. Originally, when we brought it to your commission, we were intending to include that segment in our overlay project, but upon discussion with the commission and further review, we found that segment would be more appropriately treated with a slurry seal treatment. So we changed our plan to be more effective. And so we just needed to correct that staff report. So that was the cause of the change.
Okay, and the growth management plan monitoring report, we've been promised that for the past 3 or 4 months. What information can be shared with the public on why that keeps getting delayed?
Well, if no one else is going to jump in, I will. That is an item that the city attorney's office was involved in reviewing, and a decision was made to consolidate that report. And the plan right now is for the consolidated report to be making its way before the commission on October the 5th. And the report with the recommendation from Traffic Safety, Traffic and Mobility Commission would go before the City Council thereafter on, I believe it's October, let's make sure I'm correct on my dates here, 20th. That's the new targeted, those are the 2 new targeted dates for that presentation.
Okay, and when we see this on October 5th, is the staff report going to be finalized to the point where no changes can be made to it regardless of our input?
Well, you'll see it, you'll get the staff report when it's available. You'll get it as a commission also when it's released to the public. And then in connection with the staff report, we'll have a robust discussion on the 5th in connection with that staff report. But I don't know if I'm understanding your question beyond that.
Well, just as happened today and has happened many times in the past, the staff report has already been written for the city council meeting. And then staff says, well, we can't make any changes to it to reflect any of the input from the commission because we've already written the report. And because it's been delayed so many times, I'd like to get a commitment that the commission will get that report not 2 or 3 days before a meeting, but like at least a week before a meeting, so we have time to look at it, because it's complicated. And we don't want this 2 days of review, and that our input is welcomed, as opposed to you can see it, but you can't. We're not going to write down your comments in the minutes, and we're not going to take any of them into account in the staff report.
So, if I may, you have our promise, Commission, that you will get it in advance to give ample time to read the report, and also if there are issues that the Commission might have, or recommended changes or anything else along those lines, the minutes will be included. The draft minutes will be included in the October 20 draft, or the staff report that will go to City Council. And I may add, this is one of those that if you, the Commission, decides on October 5th to come and present, then you are more than welcome to come and do so as part of the staff report.
Okay. Any other questions for Mr. Kim? Okay. Commissioner Hunter? You're on mute.
Muted. Well, I don't know if this is part of their report to us or the next step, which is our report to them. I'm just curious about the westbound PAR, which has been one lane for like a month, and when that's going to be finished.
That construction project is ongoing. I don't have the details, but what I can do is get the details and distribute it to all the commission members as soon as I get it. Would that be sufficient for Commissioner Hunter?
It's good for me. I think Ms. Gomez has something to say.
Oh.
I was going to provide an update on that. So that project is a project by the City of Vista, and we had gotten an update that they were targeting to complete the construction by the end of the month. However, the contractor is having issues right now with one of their subcontractors, so it might end up delaying it into the early part of October. But in the next few weeks is when they will be wrapping it up.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pam.
Okay, we're gonna go to commissioners' comments. Anyone has any comments? Commissioner Pensier.
I have a follow-up question on westbound PAR. At one point when I was riding down that section of road, it was not down to one lane, it was down to half a lane and the bike lane. And my question is that still the case, or have they now decided that they can get by with simply one lane? They don't need half or most of the bike lane as well.
Again, I'm not
Commissioner,
aware of
sorry.
go ahead, Tom.
I was going to say, I can tell you that we shared your comments and concerns with our construction management inspection team, and I actually haven't been out there today to find out what the condition is, but we did highlight the issue and asked them to make sure that they had the proper traffic control plan signs in place. But I can report back to you to the existing condition and what the current conditions are and what the near future conditions are planned to be.
I can tell you when I went by today, the number 2, the number 3, and the bike lane were all closed. The only lane that was open was the number 1 lane. So from a bike perspective, you would have been in trouble.
So it was a shared outside lane.
The shared, 2, 3, and the bike lane were closed. They just had the number 1 lane open today. So it was, from a bike perspective, it would have been interesting.
Okay. Any other comments? Going back to the public comments, we heard Lieutenant Calderwood that the police department is have heard the public and their comments and their concerns about Cannon and El Camino Real. Is the city looking at it in any way from timing, signal timing, or anything like that?
We did receive a number of emails after that collision that Officer Calderwood reported. We are going to look at the collision report. I guess as she reported, it's a DUI. As such, sometimes it's hard from an engineering perspective to address, but we've been in contact with the requesters that have emailed us, and we've informed that we'll be investigating that situation, including the signal timing.
Okay. And then I don't know how it's a personal conflict with my comment as a resident is, do we as a commission have to do something for the city for staff to look at that intersection?
Oh, no, you reported it as a private citizen or resident, and that has been received. So staff will do the studies, and since it was reported as a resident and not as a commissioner, we'll report directly to you, Mona, and if you wanted to report back to the commission, you could, but we would be corresponding to you directly regarding those concerns.
Sounds good. Thank you. I feel special as a resident more than the commissioner. Just special treatment. Okay. Anybody else has any comments? Okay, Commissioner Linke. Final comments?
Final comments. I apologize for being so grumpy today. There were a lot of my hot button issues. The minutes and the GMP monitoring report are, and a couple other things. But thanks all of the commissioners and the staff for your participation. Let's keep making things better.
Yes, and we have been working great, so thank you, staff. Again, we're used to having some of the old staff, so you know, some of Commissioner Linke's comments that has been happening many times, and it's not necessary with the new staff. So I hope you take that in consideration. Also, it's been really hot the past few days, so we're all kind of cranky, and the pressure and the fires and everything else. But I think overall we're doing great. We're a good team. Okay. With that said, I'm going to adjourn the meeting at 5:42 p.m. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. I'll see you next time.
Have a great evening, everyone.
Thank you.